Same thing.
Here, tilt the monitor over. Yeah.
So for those of y'all don't know, like I can kick back with this. Chibo, could you tell the people looking at us what year we met?
Well, you were like a youngin' in high school. You were a young bull. Wait, were you in 8th grade when I met you?
I don't know. Was it 2007 or 2008? Did we meet like before, bro?
No, we didn't meet before, bro.
All right, so it was 2008,
It was
right?
really early though.
It's 9th grade.
Yeah.
I met you when I was in 9th grade.
Like, I'm not usually the one to jump on for the interviews, but like I'm just so hyped from this whole season, and hearing your interviews, it just like it just emanates.
It puts everything that you wanted into one spot.
You've been asking some great questions.
I can do that. So, you know what I mean?
As I say here, I don't even want to ask you what to ask me. I just wanted to, just kick back and spit some words about PM. And
I got some heat for y'all. If y'all in the chat, y'all want to ask Chibo a question, I will ask Chibo a question on your behalf. Let me know
I will answer 2 questions though first. I am wearing a Knuckles t-shirt, yes. And at all times in my wallet, I have a Knuckles SD card ready to go right there.
Somebody please stop this man before Knuckles takes over the world.
All right.
So
the SD card in the wallet originally started as a joke because I went into a tournament. Actually, the last Jab reset, and somebody asked me to bring in the SD card. It was in my laptop, but I didn't want to bring in my laptop. So I put it in my wallet, and it became a meme to myself. So I didn't take it out. Don't connect it real quick. I'm using the music. I'm using the music from the game at this volume. That's why. I'm using the music from the game at this volume. So if you plug in a controller, it's gonna raise the volume and like. I'm using the background music as like background music.
Ambiance.
And plus, I'm turning it off when I give it anyway. I'm like taking people off the set they haven't connected to yet. Sorry.
Questions. You've been a part of quite a few different Smash communities, acting as a tournament organizer,
over
an event
10
host,
years.
We've
literally every game
for over 10 years. We hosted the first Brawl National with like 400 people before pre-registration.
Singles had 249 entrants, but there was over 300 people in that.
What about the Philadelphia PM community? Enriches you so much to keep wanting to give back? Because I don't know how much that we give you. I'm not necessarily sure it's reciprocal as much as you're getting back off of what you give us. I think it's a very give and give relationship. But what about the Philadelphia community makes you so happy to like call us home?
So I like to say I never really leave a community, even though there's been a clear renaissance.
Of
PM.
I can even say that because I started Kingtoon kind of started like the Philly PM community. It looks nothing like it did.
And there's a new coming of Clash with PM as of last summer. In Philly, but it's more just like I have like phases with games kind of thing, and Smash 4 is new, just came out, so I kind of just like I focused on that more because that's what I enjoyed as a player at the time.
Especially because you coming in that Brawl, you still want to carry that lineage.
Yeah, Brawl.
Most of the top players that you got used to custom with and hanging around, like MJG and the Cat and a lot of the East Coast players, they moved on to Smash 4.
Down
so
up there in the street.
The street, Gerthen since 08, stop playing.
But so to kind of answer your question as a segue from that, I can do some segues too.
Oh God,
is
segue. I'm the segue god. You can be the segue.
So basically, like, what do I get out of Philly PM? Is that
I guess that
there are like Smash 4 is a cool game. I enjoy it casually, but there are some reasons why I don't like the game competitively. But even more so, I didn't appreciate the Philadelphia Smash 4 community too much. And I don't want to like necessarily fire out shots right now, but I'll leave it at that. But when I looked at the players that were in Philadelphia for all Smash games, I could see that the love for PM was there.
And I think that's like more than anything else. Like anybody who's still playing PM at this point.
And as of last year, I had 9 years of experience sitting there, pushing tournaments, streaming streams, doing it in my sleep. I was like, if I'm going to pick a game, I want to pick a game that doesn't need to bring in the most money because I have a full-time job. So I'm going to pick the game that the people love. Because the feeling you get from a tournament, when if it's Smash 4, like with Philly, you can just walk in, do your work, go home, or whatever, call it a day. But when you go to a Philly PM tournament with Philly PM players,
it's an experience.
You feel the love.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
I'd say we're definitely home of the hardest place to play, probably in the continental United States.
There's weeklies for every game across the country, if not the world, at this point. And if you tell them like, yo, we got 25 people at this weekly, this is like awesome, I love this, they'd be like, fuck that, that's like nobody.
25
if we're like, yo, this got 25, we're playing this game, that's all that matters. And I think like the biggest and easiest comparison I can say as a tournament organizer from the PC and SNC series from last year is the Smash 4 players would say like this game or this weekly doesn't have enough money into it. Maybe we should do $10, or then maybe we should do $5 or whatever. So I eventually increased that series to $10, and then when I asked the PM players at the same time, if you remember, in the venue, I said, "Do you guys want me to increase the entry fee?"
You remember what I told you? Do you remember what I told you?
And everybody said
there were 3 words I told you. I said them earlier today.
What'd you say?
I said them earlier today. Remember what the chat said? Eat a dick.
And yeah, .com said eat a dick, and everybody
is very true.
Everybody collectively, even Aiden, who came from New York and took all of our money, said no, $5 is fine. We are happy to play the game, and that was the point where I knew that PM was here to stay.
I think we're more happy to meme, and then playing a game is like a successful offshoot.
I love that, like, before all the PM stuff, like, I never really was much of a memer.
But
out of nowhere, I've just found this new coming of life, and half the reason I do this is just because I just love fucking around.
Yo, you're like
seriously.
the #1 Philadelphia memer at this point. You surpassed
the reason why I started it was to build storylines, and it works. But you've heard of me, right? That applies for everybody.
I was about to say, like, I don't know. Like, now that you said it, I can't say you're necessarily wrong.
Before Salem versus Woody, who the fuck knew who Woody was?
Who cared?
Literally, Woody?
Who cared?
But Woody, that bull. And he lost to Salem. It was hilarious. But he puts in work. And you know what? People around the country know him now. People around the world know Llama
Woody is ass.
People know your commentary. People know my streams. People know Shugs TOing. People learned who Aiden was and how he's going to be top 10 this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's like top 10 right now.
That's why I started that. So we can laugh.
If y'all not hip, y'all need to understand Aiden is top 10 right now.
Yo, he really is. Like, no lie. Fuck. Like, there's every now and then, like I feel like I have like a second nature for just kind of like recognizing trends with players and how they go, like with competitive viability and stuff like that. And it's kind of like how I choose like a lot of different players to sponsor. Aiden is by far the #1.
Damn, I wish we could have had a picture.
He just pulled off like the slyest pose. Like, he's not
You're
number
too
1
tall
right
to do
now.
shit like that, dog. You gotta stop. Like, you
so
are
a top
like
5
6'2".
player. Switch is a top 5 player, that kind of thing. But like, how the fuck was he not ranked last year? Like, I understand why he wasn't, but to go from not ranked to what's going to be top 10, mark my words.
That kind of like brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the PM community who don't necessarily want to put that time in because they feel like there's quite a large skill gap. And I think that's something that can exist.
I heard
game.
that.
So you talk about
I heard that so much in 2015, 2016. I don't think I've heard it once in 2017. Because PM's a new scene now, and that's not just Philly; it's everywhere. Kind of starting off with the PMCC in 2016, going to Olympus and stuff like that. People have seen more reasons to play the game besides just getting as far as you can in bracket and making money. I feel like that kind of emanated from when Smash 4 first came out. And
that was everything.
The coming of esports of Melee. It's like, you play Smash for money. In PM, there's no money, and you can't win, so why play? But now, we have shown people... our 15-person weeklies have shown more than 15 people why to play this game, and
our 15 people weeklies for no reason have been some of like the hypest things that people have seen like the past couple of months, just because you're consistent and the quality.
Even if it's 15 people, they're just weeklies. We're getting different people every week. If everybody came out, so like we had the Project Clash 14, which was 80 players, I think.
Project Clash 14 was a national.
Super Clash 1. Super Project Clash 1.
Project Clash 14 was a national. You talking about the one with Prof and Aeon and Jason Waterfalls and DVD and Emu Killer and Tunchi and Teals.
The national. The national that was held in a small bar room.
Random bar.
On a Thursday night. Yeah. Super Project Clash 1 had 42 entrants, and I was like, back to a normal. It was not a national, but it had a lot of players. And before the first season of the championship, or for the first circuit season here, of the players that received points, which you can go check on our website, phillypm.com, there were, I believe, 55 players that received points. So a small amount of out-of-state, but mostly in-state. And that means there's like more players that didn't get points. That like all the people go 0-2 that don't get points. So Philly PM, we're rolling 60 players deep. We just don't see him every single week. But they come out.
That needs to be the way, and I think that's kind of like that will be the next test to see if we can identify our player base. And that's something that every scene needs to do. You need to be able to identify your player base, your potential player base, and see if you can find a way to make those potential players actually come out to things.
We're working on it.
Because those potential players will never become consistent until they find a reason in and of themselves to come out to an event every week. Whether it be like the $5 that they don't want to pay, or their friend that they want to see, or the drink that they want to get, or that one plate at the bar that we at that costs $6 that you can eat for the rest of the night. Like, that's a reason to come.
I feel no, it's fine. I feel bad for Shug because he has to kind of help that problem with people traveling and coming to tournaments, because he has to physically go around everybody's house and shake them till a car magically appears and they drive somewhere. Like, but we're getting better at that. We're starting to travel now, which means we're going to be traveling to more of our own events too. It's also like we went the whole weekly shebang of Smash events came out of like maybe 2 years ago, where weeklies were the shit. Before that, it was bi-weeklies and monthlies. PM went from like none of that before it, and jumping into 2017 with like weeklies and shit now. We almost like kind of oversaturated ourselves in a little bit, I feel like. But it's like a good kind, because we found every player. Now we have to nurture those players.
All right.
So we have like just a little bit more.
Do you think there is enough room for another type of event or another series to get started in the Philadelphia area?
There is, and it's already started and has been announced. And I will explain my thought behind that. That's Smash Philadelphia.
Okay.
So Smash Philadelphia is now more or less our major.
Okay.
This was all of our championships in our season. Smash Philadelphia is not part of the championships. You do not get points for it.
Good.
But there's a bigger pot bonus. There is no floating through pools. It's part of the PMCC circuit. That is the #1 competitive event you can look for from us to have the biggest pot bonuses, the most staff, the most days, and I feel like that's the new series. So we've perfected the local, the monthly. This is probably our regional level, and then that's our national level. We have everything, and we had nothing a year ago. Me,
it's room for more, dog. Let's keep growing.
You,
let's go.
Wisely,
let's keep going.
Aiden, everybody, we kick ass.
Let's keep going.
And I don't want to sound full of ourselves, but like what we did with the circuit, I really want more games and more regions to look at that. And it was as soon as Shug got the connection for top 3 to get the entry to Supernova is when I noticed that like it's something new.
All you need to do
most people
is
only
have the
focus
idea
on themselves, but with the top 3 going to Supernova, we created a connection with another region and are purposely growing our own players to push them out of us. To make more people notice us and come back to us.
Because everything that the little players do now can potentially have overarching steps in the larger PM community as a whole. Like some one of our little random players could have potentially got top 3 here today, got entry in the Supernova, and continue to build their success.
I mean, it's top 3 from the entire circuit.
From the circuit, yeah.
But like Dusty, he might not. He didn't go to Supernova last year. He might. There's a small chance he might not have went this year. Now he has free entry. He's going to go no matter what. He's going to go.
Yeah. So we're definitely.
He's already registered, basically.
And hopefully we get to see you there, so you can shake my fucking hand.
I'm registered. I got the early bird price. I don't even know if I'm going. I'm like 90% going to go.
Chibo, why don't the chat be shaking my hand?
I need to see more shakes.
That's all I want.
But yeah.
Let me know you here. I just
really just want.
Would you ever just walk up to your friend and be like, "Sup, bro?" And they just put it down. You just not shake his hand.
I love how that's like your catchphrase. That's such a good catchphrase.
Cause it's real. Like I just want to like.
I'm setting a time limit of like 30 more seconds for this interview.
Apollo's so damn handsome.
Yeah. Rat brown dads.
I don't know how to wrap this up.
Neither do I.
We got a lot of information.
I just wanted us to just spit some words about PM because we are some old people.
Yeah, I'm pretty old. I'm 24 now. You are 24.
I feel like I'm 24.
Yeah, you're 24, dog. Yeah, let's just don't even.
As community goes on, age doesn't really matter as much. I feel like. I mean, like in today's society and stuff. Like I'll still watch anime.
What are you looking
play some Smash
forward to happen to most that you don't already have? Plans for underway in the next coming of months in the Philadelphia
that's not even that much.
Like months or a potential, year.
I know.
What would you like to see from the PM community that you don't already have your hands in Philly? That could be something.
I want to see. So right now, I am my strengths lie in streaming, but I currently TO and stream and play.
Okay.
And there are other people here in the Philadelphia area who have a strength in one of those 3 areas, but do all 3. And there are other people that have a strength and do all 3, or if not a 4th thing. Like your strength lays in commentary.
I'm probably a better commentator than I am a player. Honestly.
So what I want to see is, instead of us almost reaching the oversaturation, and doing all of us doing everything, I want to see us. We already work together. I want to see us work together even more to be that organization.
That's what SoCal does.
Yeah.
They have roles. Cesty is their boy. Adrian, he does his thing, and then there's other people.
We've shown each other and the world what we can do. Now we need to just bring it home.
All right.
We've set the groundwork. Time to build it up.
That goes for you too at home. Put some work in.
If I can never have to log in to Smash GG or Challenge again to run a damn bracket, I might get 1 place higher with DDD. But I'm edge guarding now. I'm doing it. It's fun. It's fun.
Let's clap it up for my man, Bo.
No, I edge guarded 2 years ago. Just Smash 4 taught me to not edge guard. Is what it is.
Well, that game sucks. So, yeah.
All Smash is all awesome.
I'm about to
if
say,
you in my chat, I would ban you.
Do what you like. Do what you like. Do what you like.
All right,
Be
cool. All right, we're done.
We're signing out. Goddamn it.
Yeah.
Please, shake
sorry.
my hand. Next time you see me.
We just did like